Ask the locals for information. Ooh, okie dokie. Kazan? Kazan?
Excuse me, did you happen to see where the missing scholars went?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
Okay. Shawnee! Hello?
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
She's swooning.
Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. Honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha. Thank you. Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. That might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you.
Aww.
I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
That's so sweet.
Wow, what a nice guy. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Huh?
Something's wrong? Did something happen?
Don't say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Okay. Yo, what's up, dude? What's up, dude?
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
What?
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon. What's your proof?
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King.
Right.
Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared?
Oh yeah, he has
If you ask
normal
me,
is.
they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally going to take a turn for the better?
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Sino, let's relax for a second.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes.
Bruh.
One wrong move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Bruh.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up. I swear.
I've now realized they're talking about the rebirth of the Scarlet King, or like the resurrection of the Scarlet King, while they're designing Scaramouche to be a god, right? Are they gonna basically pose that Scaramouche is like the new Scarlet King, so he has a bunch of followers already? Or are they just gonna mistake Scaramouche for the Scarlet King or something?
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Doesn't sound like you want to share. It sounds like you want to overtake.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more. Keep talking.
Got it. At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
Right, yeah. They're probably trying to make Scara the new Scarlet King. Right, that's what I'm thinking, right?
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Right, the Academia is probably the true target of their hatred.
Where is this radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village. What about you, man? Have you seen him at all?
What about you, bro?
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you. He's really not here right now.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
Okay, well that's a start.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
My man, okay.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying.
Good thing I'm not one of your enemies.
He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
All the more reason for you to not get on his bad side.
I heard that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places.
Maybe we should check the scholars' homes. Maybe we'll find something there.
Very well.
Isak!
Hello, big man.
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Alright, let's see. What up, mini-man? Let's go, dude. Okay. Does he even have a house? I thought you said he was like a madman that sat by the road. Or was he just doing that?
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
Right. I hope that this... I do and I don't hope that this is his real grandpa who got, like, taken in by the academia and they framed his death or something. And then he went crazy, so he returned.
This is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
What's that smell? Sano, did you catch a whiff of incense?
No.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before.
Well, I think we'd rather it is the same one as before, because that one we're actually used to now, right? It's definitely that one.
But are you okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
Yes.
Oh.
Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too.
No. No need.
I can handle this scent. Oh, I can't handle this scent very well.
Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house?
No, it was in the forest where the scholar was meditating.
In the forest. From a scholar.
Let's keep looking for more clues. It'd be more efficient if we split up. It'd be more dangerous if we split up. Let's keep looking for more clues. Are we going to split up now? Look for clues nearby. Right, well, someone should probably... Yeah. You keep watching Isak. I'll go and look for clues. Observe footprints. These footprints are at least rather clear. Okay. What have you found?
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here, from the size and shape. They belong to an adult male.
Okay.
This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village.
Makes sense then.
The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
I mean, someone else has been here?
But who would come looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
I mean, it could be Grandpa, right?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Lured him away, so that's what happened.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
You're lured away by food all the time. You fall for that all the time, Paimon.
Hey, what's wrong with liking good food? Everyone's got something they love in life.
Yeah.
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge.
That's fair enough.
Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
Grandpa, no!
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
Yeah, is it to help resurrect the Scarlet King?
Are the rumors really true?
That's the only lead we have so far.
Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
It's highly likely.
Right.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that, we'll set off to find the scholars.
Go back to the village chief's house. Interesting. I think we're onto something when it comes to Scaramouche and the Scarlet King. I think it's too coincidental that those two are lining up at the same time. I could be wrong, and we could have another god resurrection, but it lines up too well.
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice too.
Oh, she has the bird on her back as well. That's so cool.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Hello.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too!
Where's Alhaitham, actually?
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful?
You tell Candace and Dia everything you've learned.
I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall.
Okay, I'm assuming Sino is gonna detect this guy.
Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip.
Oh?
Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
When did we find that out?
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts.
Okay. I feel like I've heard these names somewhere before.
These guys have one thing in common.
Have we?
And that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the academia. Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Okay, I don't know roughly where we would have heard about those names. My guess would be when we were with Alhaitham for the first time, but I don't remember the names. I don't know if anyone else remembers, but...
Dia, you're amazing! You really know this place inside and out.
But Dia, I... Huh? Dia's winking at me. Maybe I should stay quiet.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every mora I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
Let's head out.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here.
Right.
Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Alright, sounds like a plan.
Did Dia know that guy was there then? Yeah, she definitely knew he was there.
Sino, please don't take offense. I'm sure Dia just wants to help everyone solve their problem as quickly as possible. That's why she can be so straightforward at times.
I don't mind.
Ah, I see. Well, from the way you were staring out into the distance, I thought you might have been mulling over Dia's words.
No, I'm used to being treated that way. It's natural to fear strength. I take no objection to it.
Aww.
Well, here we are again.
Right. Is it safe to be here?
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
Right.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us.
Wait, really?
Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim.
Right, but the Archon put it there, not the Academia. I guess the Academia and the Archon were working together, but...
We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The Academia believes we're underserving.
Right.
Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the Academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. No wonder the desert dwellers want to take back Sumeru or Sumeru.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Yeah, but if it does actually keep sandstorms out, then fair enough. I understand how she feels, but I hope she doesn't do anything drastic.
Hey, Dia. You're not thinking about doing anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those...
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of rough, knowing that, you know, the hatred towards, like, the Academia or the scholars from the desert dwellers is real, right?
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
You know Dia's one of those people, right?
Yeah. Have you seen Enger, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days. So, you came here to help him out?
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his friends have muscle. They'd be a good fit for escorting the goods.
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Are we there yet?
This feels a little bit like an ambush.
Yep, this is the place.
Hello?
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Well, who knew? Right. Okay. How many ambushes are we gonna run into?
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru Village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there.
Right.
Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing scholars.
Right.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake.
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds than you think.
Right.
But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the Academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Engar, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora. Pathetic. You're all like a pack of street rats.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, anyone can become my friend.
Enough talking! Get him!
Uh-oh. Well.
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Dia gameplay? Let me guess, no? Yo, get him, Chong-Li, dude! Alright, here we go.
Time for takeoff.
Oh, don't worry about it, Queen. We got this.
Now you shall perish.
Well, that was quick.
Impossible! How could you?
You're friends with the Archons?
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action.
Right, so the guy that was eavesdropping... Yeah, okay, that's just clicked now. So the guy that was eavesdropping on the conversation that we were having before in the village with Sino and Candace, she deliberately made it seem like, obviously, she gave them the information to trick them into ambushing us. Right, I see. So Dia's always one step ahead.
Even though you've heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting.
Right.
That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
Gotcha.
You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic.
Oh! Oh! Yo! Dia's on smoke.
That should be all of them.
They're all unconscious, dude.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Makes sense.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Right, those names you mentioned.
Oh, you mean the funny names she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, scar-riddled bandit, Paimon can't remember them all.
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking.
Oh.
Edgar the wide-eyed butcher and Delavar the scar-riddled bandit are the nicknames they came up with for themselves.
Gotcha.
Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
Gotcha.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down.
So who is the ducktail bearded crook?
That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right?
Right.
Jabari's one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Right.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Oh.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well,
Idea?
That's an expert mercenary for ya.
Yep, Dia's 9,000 IQ.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
Right.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
Hmm? About what?
About how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Well, I guess that's true to an extent, right?
Does that bother you?
Yeah, I don't think you're that kind of person.
What makes you so sure?
Because even without an employer, you're still helping us out.
Uh...
Well, she can have normal friends, right?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon.
There we go. Smarter than the sages, yeah, or some of the sages, you're right.
I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude.
Right, that makes sense.
Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery.
Right, okay, yes. We now, yeah, we knew that the Academia were making that up. So, yeah, it's still under the assumption that the Academia are still just egging on this idea as a trick.
But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Alright. Let's do it.
This should be all of them. I'll let you take it from here.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
Okay.
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
These idiots. Let's just hope they live to see another day.
Right. Okay. Wait until the following morning at 6 a.m. Alright, we got that. We got that.
Hey, Dia.
Hello, dear.
Right on time.
Did we learn anything from the criminals?
We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility.
Right.
Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great too.
Really? Thanks for that.
She is pretty great, chat. Sino, what's up, dude?
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
Where's Alhaitham? Where did he go?
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Ah.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Oh,
Come on, let's go inside.
let's do it.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Yo, she looked mad.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Oh no!
Looks like Sino taught her well.
She mastered it really quickly too. Yeah, now she's just as terrifying as he is.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
Right.
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one.
True that.
The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Right.
Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry.
Alhaitham? I don't know, maybe.
It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
I mean, it could be anyone, right? Where are the village keepers now?
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
One strike.
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
Oh my god! Okay.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there.
It could be Dottore, yeah, the doctor.
You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
Alright. Do you have any idea on who this mystery person might be?
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way.
Right, well, what did he look like?
That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the Scarlet King's envoy.
Right, it's probably, Dottore then. Covers his face, Dottore wears a mask. Wears a cloak? I think Dottore wore a cloak.
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu? What do you mean?
Oh! Okay, why?
Okay, speak.
Oh, right, so they don't hear it. Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
Right, and they probably want us to think it's... Well, maybe not. They don't want us to think it's Alhaitham, but it's suspicious that he's been missing. So I think it's Dottore. Yeah, the cloak and the mask that covers his face.
Some time ago, people from the academia attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Right.
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands.
Makes sense.
They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
It's probably because they've realized that once they go here, they suddenly don't go as mad anymore. So they're probably taking them back. Or, again, they found another use for them.
Not the academia again.
In Sumeru City, Sataria also mentioned the Scarlet King's resurrection is just the academia's misinformation campaign.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars. Regardless, our top priority now is locating the village keepers.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
Ooh, okay.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
Ooh, okay. Are we actually going to see this, though? Is this happening? Okay. There you are.
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Woo! Where did you come from?
Woo!
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Where have you been anyway? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Oh.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly name!
Go ahead, I won't stop you.
Never mind. Paimon's got nothing.
Come on, Paimon.
There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
Maybe he's just giving us time to think.
No.
Nope, okay.
I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, and Alhaitham, you're wearing an Akasha. He's not, so of course I'm going to trust him more by default.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do.
Right, did
which
you?
I've now finished.
Mm-hmm. For who? The academia? Hmm?
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Right.
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
Okay.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
What? People can lie?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons.
They could just, yeah, they could have diverted the truth, right?
Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru.
Right.
That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village.
So you're saying we can still find new information to people we've already spoken to?
Glad you're following along.
Right.
Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived.
Right, okay.
The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Okay.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the the Mad Scholars.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the Radicals' next target.
Right.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
Then why would she lie?
Again, to protect herself, right?
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself.
Right.
As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Alright. Sounds good. Why didn't Sino pick up on that? That's a good point, actually. Maybe because she was so, like, erratic in the conversation that even to him, he just thought she was intimidated because she was. That would be my only guess. Whoa! Oh my god, look at that, chat. Damn! That's really cool. Okay, where is she? In here. Yeah, so we need to find out what she's protecting herself from. And I'm guessing it's the Radicals, but why? So many questions.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler?
Everyone does. Sure thing. Hi, Miss Shawnee.
Hi, Traveler.
Hello.
I want to ask you something.
Go for it.
Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better?
No.
Why's that?
Because it'll only result in conflict.
That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
I can't promise anything, but I'll do the best I can.
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru.
Right.
Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
Right.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
Right.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
Would you make up where the sounds were coming from?
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
That's a good start.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, we need to check that hospital out.
Yeah, let's go.
Here we are. Here's a viewpoint. Ooh.
Oh, is this the place? It's in terrible shape, and there's sand everywhere.
And there's hilly shells here as well.
Empty and forgotten.
Monsters, watch out!
Done. Perfect.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected.
What were you expecting?
Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, something like that.
You know what? I would say you're crazy, Paimon, but, we've probably seen crazier, so.
He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game, too.
Right.
This is the one.
Oh? Yo?
Let's go in and take a look.
Let's do it. Okay. You carefully search the abandoned hospital.
Hey, Alhaitham, we haven't found Squad. Are you sure we aren't wasting our time here?
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night.
Right.
We have time to burn.
That's what I was going to say.
Until then.
We need to wait for nighttime.
I'm taking a break.
Fair enough. You know, we could all take a break, chat.
He sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon see.
Okay, sure.
The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion.
Physics!
In contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
Yep.
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya.
It's just physics, Paimon.
How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this.
You know, it wouldn't kill you to read a book once in a while either. Maybe it's time to spread your wings and become learned.
Hey, what good is that gonna do for you? You're acting like one of those annoying grown-ups who go around nagging people to focus on their studies.
The more you learn, the more money you'll earn to support me.
Hey, what gives? Shouldn't you be the one providing for Paimon?
Isn't that what I'm doing right now?
Oh, right. Okay then. Thank you for working so hard and earning so much more. If it weren't for you, Paimon would probably still be floating around in the ocean somewhere. Thank you.
Oh, that's okay, Paimon. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, that's so cute. That was very sweet.
Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
I kind of heard it.
There it is.
Oh, that's so creepy.
It's coming from that direction.
Oh.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
Oh, chat, can you hear that? That's so creepy.
It's from below.
Are you stuck down there, dude?
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here.
That's a hatch or something, right? Yeah. Hello?
As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
I'm so creeped out. Wait, so we need elemental monuments? Okay. Right, hang on, chat. Watch this. Okay. Well, that didn't work. I didn't mean to fall down here. Are we stuck down here now? Hello? Oh, God. Oh, freedom! Wait, what? A farming tool appearing in a wasteland like this is quite a surprise. Other than serious erosion, the handle of the hoe is covered in mud. It seems unusable.
Scatter!
That's 2. Whoa, what is that? It's a dragon, dude!
Propagate!
Okay, there we go. Go to the lower level of the hospital. Alright, so we're going to go back in and then go back down. Ooh, ancient key. I don't have that. Interesting. Okay, we might get that down here. Alright, we're back down underground. I do want to have a look. Emergency notice. Patient Arbus, or Abbas, male, 23 years old, mole on the left side of his forehead, and left-handed. While his condition remains very serious, survival will be difficult without professional medical care. The patient's survivability, once found, immediately informed. Don't give up, stay positive. All beings are under the watchful eye of the divine. Don't ever give up. The rest of the document has been rendered unreadable by withering. I wonder if that wall was put there to divide the desert dwellers and Sumeru to prevent Elazar from spreading, or to prevent the withering? I don't know. I feel like there's... I don't know if... Well, we don't know Rukkhadevata, so maybe Rukkhadevata was a lot more strict than we realise. This week's meals. Keep a balanced diet, rest regularly, and maintain a good mood. Monday, minty bean soup. Beans! Tarchin? Curry shrimp. Ooh. Panipuri dinner. Ooh, or panipuri. Tuesday, salad. Biryani lunch. Okay. Fish with cream sauce. Potato boat. Ooh, Shakira. Shakshuka. Bean cake. The remaining sections are blank. Alright. Alright. Huh. This week shifts. In case of emergency, contact the physician on duty immediately. Monday, Ibrahim. Tuesday, blank. Wednesday, Amudi? The remaining sections are blank.
Look, there's someone over there.
We need to be careful.
Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
This feels like Resident Evil.
Wait.
Hello? Wait. What are we waiting for?
You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
Him?
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
Razak, okay.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life.
So how did he become like this?
Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility.
Yeah.
It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. In their haste, they failed to notice Razak hiding in a corner.
Possibly.
The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh! He's seen into the divine stone. In the wisdom, the capsule. The Emirate guy who went mad.
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru Village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru Village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia.
Right.
As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's followers.
Right.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread.
Right.
Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Right, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too.
Right.
But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons.
I see.
An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
They found a different purpose for them.
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Right, so they're basically turning people insane by making them absorb the divine knowledge and then absorbing the divine knowledge out of their brain in hopes that it, I guess, doesn't drive it skips the insanity part, I guess. Maybe?
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible.
Right.
Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night, when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to think about this.
How did you learn of this technology?
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process.
Right.
Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
No, that can't be right. Most of the mad scholars made contact with the divine conscious in the forest. That's what the Academia is after. It's also safe to assume that this knowledge has something to do with the Fatui, the Doctor, and also the Balladeer. They're using divine knowledge capsules to turn the Balladeer into a god.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer.
The Academia needs people who have been exposed to the divine consciousness.
That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Right, and we know that this is all because of Dottore, because... Again, if you've seen the manga, you know how crazy he is.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Right, yeah, well, it's inhumane.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules.
Right.
Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that.
Right.
There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
Your motives are more specific and personal.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Though he rejects the notion of greater moral responsibility, he justifies his actions because they are true to his personal motivations. Someone like him might actually make for a better ally. Yeah, as long as he's along the right path, you know, as long as his own personal gain is, or like his own personal belief is on a good path.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right.
Okay.
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out.
Fair enough.
Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shawnee had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general.
Oh.
There's nothing more to it than that.
Get roasted. What do we do about this guy, though? Yeah, what do we do with him?
He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
There we go. There's the ancient key. Right. A key stolen. Okay. By a masked weasel. Okay. Unlock. What is in here, then? Paimon wonders what sort of treasure we'll find here. The shelves are full of books. You browse through them and find that they seem to be hospital documents such as medical records and finance statements. You shut the door in disappointment. Paimon thought there would be some special treasure inside. Even the wooden barrels and crates we find on our adventures are better than this. At least those had cabbages or foal inside. What is it? Looks like it fell out from over there. Let Paimon see. Maybe it'll lead us to treasure. Whoa! Okay, patient name Arbus. Gender male. Occupation farmer. Basic status at admission. Scabby skin at limb extremites. Multiple ulcers on the back, chest, and other body surfaces. Weakness of limbs and poor mobility observed. Mental faculties are coerced, although there are clear signs of fatigue, poor sleep quality, and poor appetite. Doctor in charge, Amoldi? Week 1 of hospitalization. New scabs and limb extremities, that's the word, extremities, and enlarged ulcers. The left arm seems to be unusable and is in pain. Mental facilities are coherent, although there are clear signs of fatigue, poor sleep quality, and poor appetite. Doctor in charge, Amoldi. Week 3 of hospitalization. The scabs are scale-like and have spread across the surface of the body. There is necrosis in multiple ulcers. The patient has fallen into a coma. Doctor in charge, Amoldi. Week 9 of hospitalization. The necrosis of the ulcers have been effectively kept under control, but no new scabs have appeared in the surface of the body. The patient is in a comatose state. Doctor in charge, blank. That's probably Dottore. That's what I'm guessing anyway. Week 15 of hospitalization. The wound from the replacement treatment has not healed, even after a long time. No new scabs have appeared on the surface of the body. There is weakness in the limbs, and the patient cannot grasp items on their own. The patient is also experiencing fever and vomiting. Mental faculties are coherent, although fatigued, poor sleep, and unable to eat. Doctor in charge, blank. Week 21 of hospitalization. We have started to manage to keep the scabs on the body surface under control. The new limbs functions have been restored. The patient is experiencing chronic coughing and is prone to fainting. Mental faculties are coherent and in good state. Sleep quality and appetite are decent. Doctor in charge, blank. So they made progress. They made progress. When this new doctor came in, progress was made. Elazar is so scary. What does this other document say? Oh my god, okay. Treatment subject, Arbus. Gender male, occupation farmer. Doctor in charge, blank. Okay. Interesting. Status, after 20 weeks of treatment, specimen 4's new skin and new left arm have recovered well. No changes in appetite or sleep. Mental state fluctuates beyond the normal rate. There have been multiple attempts to leave the care area. God's voice guides me is cited as motivation, and the specimen is believed to have delusional tendencies. Additionally, the God's voice described in the confession is possibly related to the resonant quake phenomena present in the internal topographic structures of the dunes. There should be this should be investigated to rule out ungovernable input interferences, increased supervision. Okay, treatment protocol. The second phase of blank trial is beginning to see results. The next phase, blank. Objective specimen 4's organs, blank. Following extensive examination, sample 3 is the best material for the third phase of blank trial. Before the implementation of blank is required. Continuous vomiting and skin blank is a normal occurrence. Blank must be prepared beforehand for specimen 4 to maintain the circulation of blank. After completion of the basic blank operation, observe the subject for a week. If normal psychological activity is observed in the organs, the rate of deterioration of surface scabs is reduced, and limb function is restored. The next phase of blank trial can commence. Okay, physician's notes. All specimens have one thing in common: body elemental qualities, were at abnormally high levels, and were positively correlated to the severity of the disease. After blank experiment, body elemental quantities were reduced, and samples self-reported a reduction in symptoms. It is reasonable to hypothesize that there is a causal relationship between the elemental qualities and Elazar. More controlled trials should be conducted to exclude redundant variables. Note, the enrichment process of the elemental quantities in humans may be dynamically sustained. After the completion of early blank experiments within a short period of time, specimen 1's physical indicators trended to the norm. In later stages, due to blank not being complete, the quality of the elements in the sample bodies rebounded and symptoms increased, leading to specimen 1's blank. Could not be recycled for any materials. So I'm guessing that's death. Information obtained. Preparations must be made for long-term trials. Blank cannot be stopped before the specimen's symptoms have stabilized. Due to the nature of the trial, there may be methods to stabilize the symptoms' moods. Removal of blank may be attempted. Following the new method of material rejection rate that has been significantly reduced, specimen 2 and 3's developed mental instability due to associative connections to fundamental inner qualities of blank, and tended to attribute the disease to unverifiable divine punishment, consequently considering it blasphemy to attempt blank as treatment. It is a very interesting thought. Exploring neurostimulation and the result of cognitive shifts could be a future research topic. Due to the above uncontrollable variables, they halted at stage 2. A shame. However, the material provided by these two samples were both the best quality material so far. It is reasonable to believe that the perfect performance of specimen 4 is related to material quality provided by these two samples. Ultimately, once the 3-stage experiment was completed, specimen 4's symptoms disappeared completely, proving that it is possible to use blank to control the elemental contents of a person's body without relying on elemental power. There is potential for weaponization. Discussion of research on blank have to be increased in the future. Humans have unlimited potential. It may be foolish of me as a researcher to write this, but with enough input, I might be able to reach the level of a god, or so people might call it. Paimon didn't understand a thing. I didn't get it either. Ignorance must be bliss here, to be honest. You understood it? Paimon only got the bit that goes, God voice guides me. Does that mean that there's unique voices guiding us here? It could be the underground water flow or creature activity. Yeah, who knows? There might be some underground ruins. Let's listen for any sounds and take a closer look when we hear something. Right. Before my time. So would this maybe have led us to the underground bit? Okay, so we're going to meet everyone else now.
We're back!
Hello?
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
You tell everyone that what you saw in the abandoned hospital and share your current theory.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now.
Right.
Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Again, Alhaitham is wearing a earpiece. I feel like that might be why.
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst.
Mm-hmm.
One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Well, we know of someone who is, like, I don't know why no one's questioned this already. Paimon, it's you.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Apparently.
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue.
Care to share your thoughts?
Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Wait, what?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
And he has an earpiece in. How many times do we need to reference this?
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
Right, and neither are you. Well, neither are you! Neither am I! Neither is Paimon!
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
I mean, it would make sense.
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
Right.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
That makes sense.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself.
Well, indirectly.
It's not like any of us would have known.
Right, exactly.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the Academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be...
One step behind him.
Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going.
Right. You're getting smarter, Paimon.
I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Okay.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too.
No!
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Right, okay.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you. Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
But Dia just walked out. Yeah, Dia just walked out. I don't know what she just... I don't know what that was about, but okay. Do you say anything?
I'll be awaiting your good news.
Alright, sounds good. Alrighty, here we are.
So, where do we go from here?
Sino, do you remember the route that you took?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
Alright, so they went deeper into the desert? Follow Sino, alright. Oh, look at that!
Desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Whoa!
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert.
Oh.
But I was the one who brought him back.
Oh, dude, look at that! Whoa! That is really cool, and there's a statue down there too.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work.
Paimon, snoozy. Now isn't the time for complaining, Paimon.
Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there looks like it's buried really deep.
With some effort, you managed to retrieve the buried objects.
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way, because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Alright, cool. Everyone gets in different directions and starts... Oh, goes in different directions and starts digging. After a short while, you dig up other devices nearby. Or another device.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan.
The sandstorm earlier?
They must have been attacked along the way.
Or that.
Wait, what?
Grandpa, I hope you're okay.
Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Right, okay, that makes a lot more sense as well. Okay, I agree.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
That makes sense.